In a world where darkness hides, not only in forests, but also in the hearts of people, where monsters have fangs and humans intentions worse than theirs, there exists a profession that is hated, but without which survival is impossible. Witchers, mutants, monster killers, mercenaries without emotions, or so they are said to be. And among them there is one whose name has become legend, Geralt of Rivia, a hero of stories from the universe of The Witcher, a man who is not entirely human, and a monster who often turns out to be more human than people. Today we will break down his story, from birth to becoming. We will find out how witchers are created, why they carry two swords, and why a horse named Roach is not just a joke. Origin. Geralt's story does not begin with a battle, but with abandonment. His mother is Vicenna, a sorceress, a woman who possessed power but could not, or did not want to, keep her child. Almost nothing is known about his father, and this is already the first sign. Geralt was abandoned by the world from the very beginning. His fate is decided through an ancient custom, the law of surprise. It is a promise to give what you do not yet have, but will obtain, and this gift becomes a child. This is how Geralt ends up with the Witchers, not by his own choice, not by calling, but as payment. The Witcher School. His new home is Kaer Morhen, an old fortress in the mountains, cold, remote, almost forgotten. Children are not raised here, they're broken to create something else. Training begins early, more pain than childhood, fencing, reflexes, survival. Every mistake is not a grade. It is death. Geralt's mentor is Vesemir, an old witcher who has seen more than anyone would want to remember. He teaches not only how to kill, he teaches how to survive in a world where you are hated before you even open your mouth. Transformation, but the real trial is still ahead. The trial of the grasses. This is not a ritual, it is torture. Children are given alchemical potions that change the body. Most do not survive. Those who survive cease to be ordinary humans. Organs change. Blood becomes poison to ordinary creatures. Reflexes become inhuman. Geralt undergoes not only standard mutations, he endures additional experiments. The cost? His hair turns white. His body becomes even stronger. His life becomes even more isolated. They say witchers do not feel emotions. That is not true. They have simply learned to hide them, to survive. Why witchers are needed? To understand Geralt's role, we must return to the event that changed the world, the conjunction of the spheres. The human world collided with other worlds, and with it came monsters, creatures that nature was never meant to know. And then the witchers appeared. Not heroes, not saviors, but a tool. They do the work that no one else can do, and for that they are feared, despised, and not paid if it can be avoided. Powers and magic. Geralt is not just a fighter, his body is a weapon. He's faster than a human, stronger, more enduring. But his main advantage is preparation. He knows the enemy. Witchers also use magic. Simple spells, signs. Ard, a blast that pushes enemies away. Igni, fire. Quen, protection. Axii, influence over the mind. Erden, a trap for the supernatural. This is not the magic of sorcerers. These are tools of survival. And there's also alchemy. Potions that make a witcher even stronger, but can kill an ordinary human in seconds. Two swords. One of the most famous details, two swords on the back, steel and silver. Steel for humans. Because sometimes the most dangerous creatures are humans themselves. Silver for monsters, because many of them are vulnerable only to silver. But this is not just practicality, It is a symbol. Geralt stands between two worlds and never fully belongs to either of them. Monsters. Geralt's world is filled with horrors, but not all of them are the same. There are creatures born of magic. There are cursed ones. There are those who were once human. For example, Striga, a child turned into a monster by a curse, or Leshen, a spirit of the forest, ancient, relentless. Geralt does not simply kill. He investigates, prepares, and sometimes searches for a way to save the monster. And finally, Roach. That is the name of every horse Geralt has. Why? Because he does not get attached. Because his life is the road. And loss. To name each horse differently would mean to remember, and he does not want to remember too much, or perhaps cannot allow himself to. Geralt of Rivia is not just a monster hunter. He is a mirror of the world. The world says he is a monster, but again and again, it is he who shows what it means to be human. And perhaps the most terrifying monsters are not the ones that hide in the dark, but those that look at us from human faces